Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Game Hammer Extra, and today I want to talk about my response to a comment I saw in a Facebook retro gaming group where he was saying that you shouldn't review Streets of Rage 4 because it's boring and you walk to the right and attack people. So, there's a certain genre in retro gaming and modern gaming to a smaller extent, much smaller extent in fact, where you talk about the beat-em-up game. It's a game where you walk across the screen and attack enemies and then progress by wiping out all of the enemies. Golden Axe here is an example of one such very well-received beat-em-up. We've got Renegade as well. We've got Streets of Rage, Final Fight, that kind of thing. And in modern terms, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World and Streets of Rage 4. Now, all of those have a similar mechanic to them. The player progresses by defeating enemies and moving across the screen. But isn't that true of many games? Isn't that true of Mario? I mean, you don't have to defeat the enemies, but at certain times you really do have to either navigate around them in a certain way or just outright defeat them by attacking. So, do we not review Mario? Are any of the Mario games just boring because you walk forward and attack enemies? Isn't that most games? So, I have to believe that this person just doesn't like Streets of Rage 4. And fair dues, there are some parts of Streets of Rage 4 that I don't like. It's a very good game, I will review it at some point, but at the moment I'm playing through it, and I want to get a proper full playthrough before I review it. But isn't progressing via moving to a certain point from one point to another and attacking enemies just a standard gameplay mechanic? Does that mean that all games of that genre are the same? Because it really seems to be what this person's saying. Streets of Rage 1 is like Streets of Rage 2, like Streets of Rage 3, like Streets of Rage 4. Is Final Fight also like that? Are they not different? Final Fight has different mechanics. So, does that mean it's different? Does that mean that Final Fight could be reviewed, but Streets of Rage 4 couldn't? Does that mean that Golden Axe could be reviewed because it has vehicles? I mean, well, kind of. There's points in this game where you would sit on an animal and use its attacks to your advantage. So does that mean that that's sufficiently different to allow you to review Golden Axe compared to Streets of Rage 4? What could Streets of Rage 4 have done that would make it different to allow it to be reviewed? And should that not be part of a review about the game? Why it doesn't do that? Why it's chosen not to do those things? I think there's an awful lot here. I think you can see which side of this discussion I'm on. I think there's an awful lot to Streets of Rage and Streets of Rage 4 that are sufficiently different to other games in the genre that it warrants a discussion and a review. I think it's graphically very nice. It looks like a comic. You're playing as a comic. I don't like the way that they've drawn Blaze. I think that the fact that she seems to wander around pushing her chest out is a stupid design choice. And her overall design is so drastically different to the original design of Blaze that they're practically different people. I think that warrants part of a discussion about the game. But just saying, oh, it's going to one side and attacking, that's ridiculous. That has to be... Saying that, you have to be looking to cause trouble to make that opinion. I really do think that. Or you simply haven't played it and you don't know what you're talking about. That's my view on this. I think there are very good aspects to this game. It's interesting, it's a challenge. I like some of the things it's done. I don't like the fact that certain enemies can break out of a stun lock and attack you while you're in the middle of attacking them. I think if someone's stun locked, they should be stun locked for the prerequisite amount of time, the same as any other character. I don't like the fact that the boss can just overturn a lot of your attacks and turn the tables on you so that you can go from a win to a loss like that. But these are all part of the game, and they're things that you have to overcome in order to progress, and it adds to the challenge. I'm getting through it, I'm enjoying what I've played. A few minor gripes aside, I think it's a very well done game, and it's a very nice thing that we've got this after so many years where we didn't. Streets of Rage 4 has been on the cards for almost as long as I've been console gaming. And that's quite saying something because I go way back. So it's nice that it's finally here, and I think it's a great shot in the arm for Sega. And it's a very good game, it's worth playing. I think it does deserve a review, and I've explained why it's a silly thing to make blanket statements. You could argue, there could be many, many arguments for why, especially for retro gamers, it might not be a game to review. But I don't think you should just boil it down to a bare mechanic that could describe an awful lot of games and say, no, it doesn't warrant a review because of that, because that's silly. I mean, Tetris, how many versions of Tetris are out there? We still get reviews of them because each one either does something different or doesn't do anything different at all. And either way, that warrants a comment. So there you go, that's my views. I'd love to hear what you think about this. Do you think Streets of Rage 4 warrants a review? Do you think that it warrants all the praise it's got? That would be an interesting question as well. So please do let me know what you think in the comments. For now, I'm going to stop Golden Axe here and go and play Streets of Rage 4, and I'd love to see what you say about this in the comments. Until next time, bye for now. And yes, this is pretty much unscripted. It's Game Hammer Extra. It's one of my opinion shots, so it has lower production value than some of the other ones. Normal Game Hammers will be back. See you later. If you liked today's video, please consider supporting me on Patreon. And an extra special thanks goes out to Chief89 and Tepic. Thank you.